Yo, how's it going to all two of you that watch my channel? I'm your DM, and today there is not really any D&D news to talk about, so I thought today we would review some of the new stuff that D&D team is working on. Let's take a look at that now. Alright, so I've been looking forward to reviewing this. This is Unearthed Arcana Travelers of the Multiverse. Um, this is some stuff that D&D team is working on. It's a collection of races that I thought were pretty neat. So this is playtest material, which means it's not complete yet. Some of these may be complete and utter trash, and others are super duper overpowered. We'll get to that one in a second. But let's start off with the Astral Elf. Actually, let's look at the list first. So we have the Astral Elf, which is an elf denizen of the astral plane who is like thousands of years old, which compared to a normal elf in D&D, which only lives like 750-ish. An auto gnome, a mechanical gnome gifted with free will, which is basically a warforged but shorter, I guess. I think that's how that works. A Gif is a hippo-headed being of impressive size, so going along with the um, animal humanoid races that D&D has been into recently with the Tabaxi and that one owl one from Strixhaven. Um, and I feel like there's an elephant one as well. Anyway, the Hedozi, a highly adaptive simian being, a highly adaptive simian being who uses wing-like membranes to glide. So basically, it's like, you know those old Batman things where Batman jumps off a building and uses his cape to glide down to punch the bad guys or whatever. Yeah, it's basically that, but it's built in. Then a plasmoid is an amoeba-like being, so what I understand that to be is just an ooze who decided to take on human form. Then a thrycreen, a six-limbed telepathic insectoid. Now that one's interesting because thrycreen have been around for a while, like a while, but they've never been playable as a race before, so I'm interested to see how that would go. So, Astral Elves. Elves ventured into the Feywild. Quiet explore the reach of the multiverse, tend to things the last time having a meaning. Astral Elves who don't dwell on the astral plane can live to be over 750 years old. Huh. So, the baseline a maximum age for an elf is 750. That's the maximum age. So astral elves can live beyond that. Interesting. Walking speed is 30 feet. You know one of the following cantrips: Dancing Lights, Light, or Sacred Flame. None of those are particularly useful, but I can see how light is. I can see light working really well. One of my cleric characters in the past, I used to light up as a mace. Uh, used as kind of like a torch. Of course, got the obligatory dark vision. Fey ancestry, yes. Keen senses, Radiant soul, that's something the Aasimar has, right? Aasimar, half angel, half human. Um, when you succeed a death save, you can regain a number of hit points equal to your proficiency bonus plus your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma modifier. I don't think the Aasimar has that. I think it has a different thing. Oh no. I'm too lazy to go check in my books, but you don't need to sleep. Trans proficiencies. After when you finish a long rest, you gain two proficiencies, each with a weapon or a tool of your choice. You mystically acquire these proficiency by drawing them from shared evil memory, and you retain them until you finish your next long rest. That is interesting. I like that mechanic. Because, I don't know, you could just suddenly learn how to... you can suddenly learn how to speak a different language. Because, say you're traveling into Goblin territory to try and, I don't know, negotiate with the Goblin King to maybe let off the raiding a bit. If you're an astral elf and you don't know, if you don't know how to speak Orcish, there's a goblinoid. No, that's the name of the thing. Like, if you don't know how to speak Orcish, let's say, and you take a long rest, you can suddenly learn Orcish. That's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, next up, Auto Gnome. Mechanical beings built by rock gnomes and their image. Auto Gnome bears resemblance to its creator. We're on the Auto Gnome history table. Like gnomes, Auto Gnomes can live for centuries up to 500 years. I mean, I like Warforged better, honestly. They're cooler. But creator give you autonomy. Creator died. Temporary malfunction. Forget your original programming. Stolen from your creator. Didn't like how you're being treated. Creator built you for a special mission, and you felt trapped in the role. So your construct. You're small. Walking speed is 30 feet. Encased in thin metal. So you're encased in thin metal or some other durable metal. While you're wearing armor, your base armor class is 13 plus your dex. So it's usually 10 plus your dex for normal humanoids. But these guys could function amazingly as tanks. If you gave them enough dexterity, like you just dumped dexterity, then, like, say, an Auto Gnome monk. Ooh, that would be good, because monks, their dump stat is basically dexterity and strength. Or dexterity and wisdom, I don't know, I think it's just dexterity and strength. So, if you dump it all into dexterity, then you could have, like, a 19 armor class by level 8. I'm just spitballing here. Built for success, you can add a 1d4 to attack roll, ability check, or saving throw you make. And you can do so after seeing the d20, but before the effects of the roll are resolved. You can use a trait number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So, you basically have an on-demand Bless. So, Bless is a spell clerics use where you can add a 1d4 to all of your rolls. All of your rolls. So, with this, it's just an on-demand Bless. It's pretty cool. The mechanical nature of your resistance to poison damage, and immunity to disease. Advantage against saving throws, being paralyzed or poisoned. And you don't need to eat, drink, or bathe. Well, I mean, breathe. No one in D&D bathes. Let's be real. When you take a long rest, you spend at least 6 hours inactive, motionless, and instead of sleeping. In this state, you appear inert, but you aren't unconscious. Interesting. In true life, if the mending spell is cast on you, you expend a hit die, roll it, and regain a number of hit points equal to the number plus your constitution modifier. That's interesting. I don't have the Eberron guide, so I don't know if this is also part of the Warforged thing, but I would assume it is, because they're both constructs. Calling spells that preserve life, but normally don't, are cure wounds, healing word, and spare the dying. Huh. So that's the Auto Gnome. Interesting. I'm going to save the others for the next episode. Let's move on to homebrew highlights. Alright, so was scrolling through the homebrew section of D&D Beyond, and I found the garlic bread domain for cleric. The subclass is a classic piece of homebrew. It says you're dedicated to the deities of the tastiest snack there is. These include such deities as Lofera, Garlicio, and the very evil Chessmen. They give you food, garlic bread, to the homeless, but they cannot do this alone. That is where you come in. So, this is actually a pretty cool class in terms of, like, roleplay potential. So, Disciple of the Garlic Bread, you can create bread at any time. It is not disabled by anti-magic field. So if like a beholder is looking straight at you, like with its center eye, because that has a cone of anti-magic of the center eye, you can just create a garlic bread and throw it at him. And then, but I think the best one is Delicious Retribution, 17th level. You can just delete someone from existence. Like, if they have less than 100 HP and their alignment is opposite to yours, then you can just decide to kill them instantly. So, for example, let's say you're fighting a red dragon. And I think a red dragon is around 250 some health. And your party is severely wounded. You're out of spell slots. But you've got this guy down to 90 so HP. You can just use Delicious Retribution to end the battle then and there. That. I hate that. Why is that included in the garlic bread domain? How does that make any sense? And that's why I love it. It's just the ultimate meme subclass. This is a classic one. Finally, DM tip of the day is to be okay with just taking references from other stuff. Like, I know I'm definitely doing that in my campaign, but my players haven't noticed yet. As long as it's obscure enough, your players won't notice. And even if they do notice, as long as you kind of put at least a semi-original spin on it, they won't care. Because you're doing it, you're putting into the effort, and they're putting in the effort, and you're all having fun. Anyway, that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Smash like, subscribe, whatever those YouTubers tell you to do. And I'll see you next time. Bye.